Hi all, welcome to my channel. I'm Mark, this is Mark's Mods, and today guys we are going to be doing our Sunday weekly catch-up. Yeah, not really much happening this week in the model world wise. I mean, I've got some notes down here, but I haven't really had any deliveries or anything like that because it's kind of the week where nothing really happens. You're getting basically to the end of the month and beginning of the month, and not much happens really in that week. So nothing has come, and basically I'm hoping things start coming next week. Fingers crossed. But yeah, it's been a funny week really because, like I said, it's been a bit quiet and stuff like that. But there has been a few bits coming on. So we'll start with the model. So the Harshett Titanic, that's coming along nicely. I am sure we are due a delivery next week by that one because I've just done 68 it was, and basically I've run out now. So normally when I run out the following week I'll start to get the next lot of Titanic. So hopefully, fingers crossed. I think it's going to be a little bit boring on that one because all we're working on is the promenade deck in the next 4 issues, because you can obviously look ahead a little bit on what other people are doing, the people who are getting it from the shops. And you can also check out the Harshett website where they do release the magazines and what you're doing in the magazines. We're just really working on the promenade deck, so they sort of teased us a little bit with some more hull work, and then we're working again on the superstructure of the Titanic. So not really much going on that one, unfortunately, which is a bit of a shame, but I think it's the way it is. I think as we progress over the next 10 issues, I reckon we are going to have a lot to do, because it's starting to get to that stage now where they'll start piling bits and pieces on you. It would be nice to start working on more bits of it, but it's just the way it is. The Trumpeter Titanic is still a work in progress. Basically, after drilling all the portholes, which that video got released, I know I haven't done the next video on from that, but the next one is basically filling and sanding, and that's all I've been doing over the last few weeks, is filling holes and sanding them and getting the hull right. And sometimes it can take, well, it can take its time because, you know, I'm filling the holes with model filler. They're not holes, they're indentations in the plastic where where portholes would have been if you're doing it as a standard kit. I'm trying to make it as historically as possible kit. So basically I've drilled out portholes in the plastic where they haven't said a porthole should be, but where they have said a porthole should be, because it's just basically mirrored. So it's one side is mirrored to the other side. I'm going to fill in them bits. It does take its time because you've got to let the fillers time to set, which is about 24 hours. And, you know, you can fill it and then you might go back to it and you need to fill it again because some bits might come out and stuff. So it just takes its time on the Trumpeter Titanic, but it's the one thing you don't want to get wrong because the hull is one of the things that you look at. So you want the finish to be absolutely spot on perfect with that. So I'm doing a couple of hours every day on that at the moment, just filling, sanding, filling, sanding, filling. Yeah, nothing really exciting at the moment. The exciting bit's where it's going to be after the filling and sanding process, or when I prime and I start painting the hull, because that's when it's going to start really looking like the Olympic ocean liners. So yeah, it's really going to be spectacular. The DeLorean. So the DeLorean's coming along lovely. Everybody keeps asking me, I haven't shown it yet. Did you fix the indicators on the front? Yes, I did. They are working. I've already recorded the next 2 issues of the DeLorean, and I don't actually show the indicators working in that one. But after that, when I do my next recording, I will show the indicators working, because we're going to start working on the flux bands at the front of the car. I also have the mod for that one. I have the EL wire rope mod from Model Mods, so I'll be putting that on the car as well. So yeah, mine's going to be a little bit different, so, you know, due to the modifications I wanted to do to this vehicle. But it's going to look amazing, it really is. But I will show the indicators. They do work. They don't flash, but they work. They light up. So yeah, I did have a slight problem with the DeLorean. yeah, I released the DeLorean on Friday, and I released the wrong issue. So I released issue 95, I think it was, and I should have released issue 94. So after realising that, I'm like, oh, no. So I had to release 94 as well. I'd advertised 95 everywhere on Facebook, but I didn't advertise 94 because it was a case of, well, it's going to take forever to advertise this. I don't want to be spamming groups on Facebook, so I just released 94 as normal. The same I do with this catch-up video. I don't really advertise it anywhere on social media. I just tend to release it, and you know, people can, if they're subscribed, will get the notification, or it gets recommended, even though my own videos get recommended to me anyway. So absolutely crazy. I'm just gonna have a drink of coffee. So that's a little bit of a on the DeLorean. What did happen though, which was absolutely fantastic. Now I will show a picture of this when I explain. So about a month ago or so, maybe a little bit longer, I entered a competition on a YouTuber's channel. The guy's called Will's Workshop. I will put his channel link in the description down below. And he was doing a competition to win the Mike Lane railroad tracks for the Back to the Future 3 car. Excuse me, this happens every time I do this. So 2 seconds. So he was doing that, and he was basically he planned not to use them, so he was doing it as a competition to win. Now I'll put the Mike Lane railroad tracks on the screen now. And that's basically it. So I entered the competition. I didn't think much of it, to be perfectly honest with you, because I'm one of these people, yeah, I don't get good luck in anything, because I never really win anything. But that's fine by me. But I kind of forgot about it. Then the other night I was thinking about it. I was thinking, when does that competition end? Well, it turns out the competition did end, and I found out Saturday morning I'd actually won it, which was an absolute total shock. So, excuse me, basically, I have got the Mike Lane railroad tracks for the Back to the Future DeLorean 3 car on the way. They are going to be, I'm not too sure when they're going to be coming. I know Will did say, let me know when they've been sent in the post and whatsoever. So yeah, but it's going to be nice because I plan, you know, to display the car. I do love the Back to the Future 3 car with the railroad wheels on and the track. And that has been the plan for ages, to display the car like that. So that is going to be absolutely amazing to put that on to finish off the model. Excuse me again, this is doing my head in now. So I won that. So I was absolutely shocked. So I will do a video when that comes of the railroad tracks. But I'm really, I was really surprised with that one, that I actually I won that competition. So, but they do say if you don't enter these things, you're never going to win. So yeah. But I was really chuffed on that one. The Rossi bike. So I did the Rossi bike yesterday. Recorded it for this week. And my goodness, did that bike give me problems. Probably, when we look at the bike, you see that we have all the pipes, and it is a very detailed engine. Even though it's just a superbike engine, it is really highly detailed. And what you might see of it in the end is, you know, will be crazy. But yesterday I had to put the exhaust on. Now, the way they showed it in the magazine is that it would be an absolute nightmare to put it on, because you've got these flanges and they sort of go over a ball at the top of the exhaust, and then you put it onto the engine, and then you put these flanges in, and that's what holds it on. That was a nightmare. That was an absolute nightmare. I'm normally enjoying the nightmare issues where it's fiddly and there's quite a bit to do and whatnot, but just doing that task yesterday, it was a nightmare. It was probably one of the hardest things I've had to do on that bike yet, and I will admit that was really, really difficult to do, to get all lined up and to get them in. Wow, yeah. So what I thought was going to be a quick issue was not the great issue. I'm just going to pause the camera here while I just take a drink and sort out the back of my throat. So 2 secs, guys.
A few moments later.
Okay, guys, sorry about that. I'm back. What a nightmare. Every time I talk for long periods of time, it just seems to that just seems to happen. And I've had that since I got COVID for the first time a couple of years ago. So really strange. But the exhaust is on the Rossi, so that is the main thing. That's now all fixed and sorted. It does look superb. It really does. And the good thing about it is we're bringing the bits all together that we've sort of kept apart and stuff. So, you know, I'm starting to get more room in the drawer, which is amazing. The camper van, that's just going along as planned. I still haven't received my replacement issue to the German issue, German magazine I got. So I'm still waiting for that to come from D'Agostini. I've got a sneaky suspicion they're going to probably put it in the next pack from them. So yeah, it's the only thing with the camper is it's just slow. It's slow from D'Agostini and it's a slow build. You don't seem to make much progress on it in what you do in the issues. So yeah, it's a little bit of a slow build is that one. The Rossi and the camper van, when you look at the instructions are on just 2 pages. 2 pages basically. That's what you get. It's never. I don't think I've yet to see, and we're about halfway into both nearly. I don't think I've seen any of the instructions go over 2 pages long. So as you can think, it's there is not a lot to do on that one. Oh, they just pack a lot in to do in very, very few pictures. So yeah. Just the way that one is, unfortunately. The Miura, that's coming along lovely. This week you'll see that we actually used the steering wheel. We got in issue 1, so I think I mentioned this in the video that you know, when you do these models, these Partwork models, you are given parts that you are not going to use for a long, long time, and you have to keep them safe, and you have to make sure they don't break or anything else like that. And so with the Miura, we got the steering wheel in issue 1. Now I think I did, it's either issue 46 or 47 the other day, recorded it, and we actually got to put the steering wheel on 40 odd issues in. So again, it's just the way they work. I think DeLorean, if I remember correctly, we did the front bumper in issue 1, and that didn't get put on until issue 90. So if you haven't done these models before, or if you're thinking, you know what, I'm going to do one of these, be prepared to be doing something that you're not going to put on the finished vehicle for a long, long time. It happened with the Ecto 1. It happened with the X-Wing. We got the cockpit canopy in issue 1 that we didn't use for ages. It's just the nature of how they do them. So, and it's quite, I won't say it's clever, but it's a quite good marketing thing. Of you see that on issue 1 and you think, wow, I'm going to get that because that looks amazing. Wow, yeah, you get it, and then you don't use it for a while. So that normally goes on for about 5 issues, where you get loads of stuff and you get some really iconic pieces of what you're building, and then basically it'll start going down to not as much to do, and yeah, and that's how they work. And then right at the end, they give you absolutely loads to do. So, you know, to finish the build off, you've got to do this, that, and it's just, yeah, it can be a little bit crazy, but, you know, it's just the way the Partworks work. Optimus Prime. Now, obviously, I've done issues 1 and 2. We haven't got our next delivery yet of Optimus Prime. I haven't got a clue when that's due. because obviously it's a model that's starting up. But we did, now after I did my last update last week, we did, me and Kev at the Nexus, we actually did a review on my channel of issue 1 and 2 of the Optimus Prime. And my goodness, that live stream was a success. I mean, we had absolutely tons of people chatting live and with us. We really did just, I don't know, it was just like we didn't have any plan of what we were going to do, how we were going to show it or anything. We just did it off a whim, and sometimes they can be the best live streams because you just don't know what you're going to do or say and everything. And it was really good. And to be perfectly honest with you, we got some absolutely fantastic feedback from that live stream. People that watched it back and stuff, we got some really positive comments like, thank you for, one person said, thank you for researching this, and, you did it justice and stuff, and it was really nice to hear. So, yeah, can't wait to carry on with that build when it comes. Now, the Optimus Prime, now, because I did issues 1 and 2, which I normally do, in one video, because that's what we get. We get issues 1 and 2, and you want to see what comes in issue 1 and 2. It will start now being slowed down. So what will happen is when issue 3 comes out, that'll be on the week late, and issue 4 and stuff like that. And that way, it just slows down the build for me. But we're still getting something out there with that build every week. That's what I try and do in models. I'm not one of these people that when I get a delivery, I'm straight away building it and releasing it. I like to take my time, and that suits me better, because it just gives me some excitement. So right now I finished the 4 issues of what we got for the Titanic in the last delivery, and next I'm excited to what we get in the next delivery. So for me, that's how I enjoy doing it. Before I started doing YouTube, and I was doing builds before I started YouTube, so I'd done 3 other builds. I'd done the Millennium Falcon, I'd done the R2-D2, I'd done the Red Bull Racer, and I was more or less just finishing off the Hummer, the vehicle on that one. When I started my YouTube channel, I didn't put it on the YouTube channel, I think at the time, because I was so near the end. There was kind of really no point in putting it on the channel because the majority of the build had already been done. But I was one of these people that actually would have got my issues and thought, right, I'll just put them to one side and carried on with normal life, and not built them. And I could build up, 20 odd issues like that. And then one weekend, might be raining outside, note to do or whatever, I just have a fantastic weekend of building. And that's kind of like I try and do things now on this channel. I'm not rushing to build what I get straight away. I get it all prepared, so all the magazines are scanned onto the computer, so all the instructions are scanned. I then go do the snippets for the instructions to come up on the screen. While I'm doing that, I'm always checking parts. I'm always labelling parts as well, so it's easier for me. I'm checking parts, especially with Heart-Shaped Titanic, because that's got a tendency to miss things out. And that just suits me down to the ground. It's just one of these things. The way how our house works is I get every evening up here. I've been starting to get a few afternoons up here lately as well, because I'm trying to get things done and stuff, and I've been able to release the videos a little bit earlier, which has been absolutely fantastic. I get evenings up here, and some of them evenings during the week, they are filled with either watching or being in live streams and stuff, which I love and I enjoy really doing. But then it just comes down to, I like to do my recordings at the weekend, so I can just release them during the week. And my house, I've got 2 teenage sons, one 19, one 17. At the minute, they're on summer break from college and university. And basically it can be a hectic house sometimes, so there's always lots going on. They're going out doing their thing and stuff like that, so it can be a little bit harder to record during the week, but they know at the weekend if I'm recording, then just leave me be for a little bit. But it's been, you know, that's just the way it works. So I'm if I get my deliveries, I'm happy to put them aside and wait to build them. I can sometimes be like a little school kid. I'm a little bit, I really would build that, but I'm quite strict with myself in that sense because I'm thinking, no, just put it aside. You know, you'll enjoy it when it comes up to it. So on that one, I don't even mind being behind on some of the builds either, and that suits me. And as long as you know, and that's how I like to do things, and that's how I like to run things. It's just the way. It's easier for me. Would I ever change that? Probably not. I like building up issues and having lots to do. I mean, I've got quite a bit of a stock of the camper van, and I've got quite a bit of a stock of the DeLorean to be getting on with. So for me, yeah, I can, if I've got some free time and the house is nice and quiet and stuff, I can do some building and recording, and I can put it up on the channel and just release it when I need to. So I am enjoying you doing the Titanic, the Trump's Titanic, because with that I can work on it in my own time as well. So I can just pick that up and just have a good session on it. So you know, it's just the way things work. So yeah, like I said, it's been a slow week, no deliveries or anything, and it started this week and next week. What will start happening is the payments will start going out the account. So all the payments for the next lot of builds will start going out the account over the next, I'd say, 10 days. So I'm going to get payment for quite a few things coming out, and then it's a waiting game. I always find with Fanhome and Diagostini, the way they work is the payment will come out. So you get the payment taken out of your account. Then the following week, you'll get a notification it's been dispatched. And then it takes about 2 weeks from that for it to come. So it's about a 3-week cycle with Diagostini and Fanhome. So you get your payment, a week later you say that's been dispatched, and then 2 weeks later you more or less get your parts. But that is also depending on where you live and how good your postage is, because sometimes I think ours isn't the greatest in the world, especially when, not last week, I think it was the week before, I had 3 different Partworks turn up in one day, and they've been dispatched at different times. So I don't know how that works. Now, one of the things is when I went to July, so a few things are getting released in this month. So the Ecto 1 build up to finish that model, that's going to be dispatched this month. I'm not too sure the dates. But that's going to be dispatched, as well as the Enterprise as well. So that's going to be released again this month. They're both again by Fanhome. They've taken on the Eagle Moss deliveries. I haven't signed up for the Ecto 1 yet because I've still got the wiring to do. It's one of them jobs that I've got to get done, but I'm just kind of putting it off. And I need to get it in a way where I can say, right, okay, I can get the next lot of issues and build them quite easily. So I've still got all that to do on that model. And I think it's something I might just tackle this week, because at the moment I've been concentrating on the Titanic, the Trump's Titanic, getting all the hull and stuff sorted. And I think the electrics, I really need to get them working on the Ecto, get the 2 halves back together, and then I can look at subscribing and finishing off that build. I'm only, what I would say, 3 months I'd have to get bits for the Ecto 1, so I'm not far off at all in finishing that one. What else have I been doing in the last few days? Well, I've been, obviously, I've said I've been working on the Titanic, so I've been, I kind of like to watch things when I'm doing stuff like that. I like to box set on, you know, things like streaming services and stuff like that. But one thing I did start watching, and I do recommend it, is the Blood and Steel, which is this. And it's an absolutely fantastic series. This was on the TV not so long ago, and I remember it being there. Now, this obviously is about the Titanic, and it's not centered on the maiden voyage, or it's not centered on the sinking of the Titanic. This is centered on building the Titanic. So what was going on in Belfast before 1912. What the workers were doing. It's got a bit of politics in, which really doesn't interest me at all, but it's interesting to see what was going on in Belfast. So you do sort of get an insight into what was going on while they were building the Titanic. It does go into some of the history of the pivotal points in building the Titanic. So it goes on about, you know, the structure of it, making sure the steel was right, the lifeboats and complying to the regulations and stuff like that, which is really interesting. And one of the episodes I watched last night was they launched the Titanic from the slipway into this ocean, and that was really interesting. But it's really, I've still got about 4 episodes to watch on this one. And yeah, it's been really, really good watch. And I've been literally standing away, sat here, and watching this box set. So it is called Blood and Steel. It is a fantastic, fantastic thing to watch. I don't know if you can get it on any streaming service. I'm not too sure on that, but I mean, I paid a couple of £2 for this on the internet, and yeah, it's nice. I still enjoy buying DVDs. And one of these things where, well, is it going to be on a streaming service forever? And if it's not going to be on a streaming service forever, I'd love a hard copy. And I like to then go out and buy the DVDs of it, because I'm one of these people who think, right, I fancy watching that. Damn, it's been taken off the streaming software. So that's about it for this week, guys. Sorry about the little bit of a coughing fit in the middle of that one. Like I said, I start, and now I'm fine. I can probably talk away for the next half an hour, even though I've got really nothing left to say. But yeah, it just happens, and I have to take about, it took me about 5-10 minutes just to get my breath, clear my throat again, and literally start talking. So yeah, it's going to be fantastic. But yeah, so there will be a video out on the competition that I won of the Mike Lane Railroad track. So that is going to be coming out as soon as it comes to me. I will do a sort of an unboxing and sorting that out. There is a bit of modelling to do with that one as well. Because we have to, there's little grass tufts you can put in and stuff, and it does come with a base as well. So you know, it's going to look absolutely superb when it's done. Now, in the video I can actually do a comparison to what the train wheels will look like on the track, because I do have a train wheel. I only have one, but I do have a train wheel, and that's simply because Eagle Moss sent me one, because they didn't have my next issues in stock, so they were just sending you what they did have in stock at the time. So I do have a train wheel. The rest of the stuff they sent me that was in stock, really I wouldn't write home about, to be perfectly honest with you. It's not that great. But that is basically the builds for the week. Next week, like I said, I'm hoping Titanic comes. So as soon as that comes, I can start working on the next lot of issues for that. And then obviously we've got the payments and we've got the builds. They'll be coming in the next few weeks' time. So it's just a waiting game. Like everything, you just got to wait until the next lot comes, and hopefully, fingers crossed, it'll come as soon as possible. I have done all the recordings for the week, so we will get Titanic. We have got the Rossi bike, we've got the Miura, we've got the camper van, and we've got the DeLorean as well for the week. Hopefully I can finish this sanding off on the Titanic hull and we can start painting it. That is going to be phenomenal when I get that done, because it's really going to look, I'm sick and tired of looking at a grey hull right now, because yeah, it's a bit depressing. Grey is a really I mean, I know I'm wearing sort of a grey top, but it's a bit of a depressing cold colour, is grey. Yeah, I seem to, it just doesn't look good, but it should look nice once it's all done. I will be airbrushing that, so I will be doing the airbrush on the painting of the Titanic, so all that fun to do. So it should be good fun. I'm not complaining, it should be good fun. So I'm going to leave it there, guys. Thank you ever so much for watching. A lot of people have said about me coming back and doing some live streams. I am thinking seriously hard about it. It's just what I come back and do. I really don't know. I don't think I'd do live building. I don't mind live working on a project, so I don't mind being live and say working on the Titanic or something. Live building's really, yeah, I take my hat off to anybody that does it. It's not the easiest thing in the world. Or do I do a thing where I chat like I used to do on the 6 o'clock on a Sunday? The problem is I've got no company to rant about anymore because Moss has gone. And yeah, I used to do what I call my Sunday rants, but yeah, I'm a little bit more relaxed these days for some strange reason. Yeah. Anyway, if you like this video, please could you give it a massive thumbs up. If you haven't already subscribed, please remember to subscribe and hit the notification bell where you're notified of any future videos. But as for always, guys, stay safe and bye for now.